She had some initial discipline problems at the beginning and she got suspended. But after that, she was a good student, they said. So she graduated her 8th grade at Perspectives IIT Math and Science Academy. She went back there for her freshman year and things just did not work out. She had a really spotty attendance record. And the next thing you know, according to her mother, she was arrested for shooting a gun and wound up going into the juvenile justice system, and she essentially never really was a full-time student again. Compare that reputation as a shy, timid girl with her reputation on the street, which was a shooter or a hitter or an assassin. She was known to her rivals as somebody who was willing to shoot first, ask questions later. It's all over the internet. In fact, on her own Twitter site, she called herself Tyquan Assassin. Tyquan was a friend of hers who was killed, and she vowed to avenge his death. So female shooters and gangs are super rare. However, the significance of this story is that girls are becoming more and more involved in gangs and in violence, but it's usually with their hands and feet and not with firearms. So she was very unusual in that way. The estimates of how much damage she did varied depending on who you talk to. A high-level source I talked to said that a girl matching her description was a suspect in 3 to 5 shootings. One of those was a murder. I talked to other sources who are closer to the streets, and those people say that she was thought to have committed at least 15 shootings.
I'd rather fight right now than be fighting for her life, gang. It'll be dead. Every day I wish, like, why the they ain't come lock her up, gang. Every day, I be on the phone with my little brother, I be like, damn, I wish this was my little sister I was talking to on the phone. I'm too grateful. I wish this was Jakira. I wish I was laughing with my sister, I wish I was sending my sister this money, yeah. I wish I was sending my sister these pictures of me at these interviews. I wish I was showing Jakira on Tookaville. That shit hurt my soul every day. And a lot of people don't understand that. Because a lot of times, everybody think a lot of this be facade. Every day for on Jakira. I wish I wasn't even part of a lot of this shit, shorty. I wish I wouldn't even felt half of this heartache for on Jakira. With my daughter, if I be looking at my daughter, so I'll be like, oh, Tookaville, I gotta be strong for her. For like, her mama already knows, so it's like, she looking for that strength. On Tookaville, I've been the strength. But shorty, this shit get tiring, folks. On Tookaville, but every day I be like, damn, Jakira was here. How would shit be? Like, these EBT right here, man. I'm from
STL, but I be posted on EBT.
Hey, the realest Duck, man. You already know free C-ball.
Squad.
And this is just YouTube, you know, the blog talk, the street talk.
Well, a lot of that information is accurate, put it like that. I ain't gonna tell you which one is which, but a lot of that information is so accurate, so whoever they getting their resources from, they hitting it on the nail. Sometimes I look at that and I be like, how do they know this?
So I went over there by KI. Smoke was coming out her neck, man. It was all sad, bro. I'm standing over telling her to be all right, kneeling down over there, telling her to be all right, man. And she went in the ambulance. She was still alive because she was still breathing right there when I was right there. She wasn't DOA. She was still like fighting. But when she got in the ambulance, she was gone, man. It was sad, bro.
So before we get into the KI, let's just do a quick overview of the war between Oblock and STL. Now, there's way more bodies than this, but I'm gonna just touch on a few. Pause. So this is between 2011 up to 2018. So STL kills Odee from Oblock, 2011. STL kills Platoon from Oblock, 2011. STL kills Sheroy, Oblock, 2012. Oblock kills Modell from STL in 2012. Oblock kills Boss Trail from STL, also in 2012. STL kills J Money from Oblock in 2013. Oblock kills KI from STL in 2014. STL kills Big A from Oblock 2016. Oblock kills Brick from STL 2017. STL kills HK from Oblock in 2017. And Oblock kills Man Man from STL in 2018. Who is Gakirah Barnes? Turns out she's a cold-blooded killer that was well respected in the Chirac streets and feared by her ops and within reason. Jakira wasn't always the killer she turned out to be. Having lost her father to violence before turning 1, Jakira went on to excel at school. She wanted to be a social worker when she grew up. Her heart was in the right place, but like many that lived around the harsh environment of the streets, especially one like Chicago, the temptation of the lifestyle is hard to escape. Jakira is no exception. Being from 63rd and St. Lawrence, she rapped STL EBT. Jakira was openly accepted under the GDs for her fearless demeanor and ability to do crimes that even some men couldn't.
Turn up. That was. They pulled the video this
Turn up, turn up. Call Shaq Boy at the back, blowing these bobber niggas like Osama.
Cray, my young nigga.
K.I. my young killer. A lot of niggas be rapping, but we the ones tote guns, nigga.
She was close to Chirac legends like FBG Duck and mentored by gangsters in the game. Slowly, she began drifting further and further to the dark side. First, just as an associate of dudes living the life, but something happened that changed the course of her life. On the day that close friend Tuka was murdered, Jakira was the one that set out on a path to revenge.
Nigga up. I'm a big smoke and a little drink. The L's just the trick and the thumb thing. What you know? What you know about?
Nah.
See, me personally, I've been like fly food. I wouldn't try, dude. I'm tired of you niggas thinking you hotter than me. I'll pop you and flee. Actually, mentality. Swag on the rooftop. Delete that shit, man.
In a way, she is said to shape the course of what we now know as Oblock, because she's rumored to be the shooter that killed BD Savage Odee Perry in retaliation for Tuka. This led to the BD set being changed to Oblock, while GDs changed theirs to Tookaville to remember their fallen soldier. Now both sides have lost someone close. Tuka from the GDs and OD from the BDs, and Jakira was at the center of it all.
That bitch wasn't no assassin. That bitch got smoke.
Oh, Tuka, she
How many times she got hit?
money.
How many times she got hit?
Ask love money. She
Got
asked
hit?
love money.
How many times she got hit?
Ask love money. She
Got
asked
hit?
love money.
How many times she got hit?
Ask love money. Ask OD.
How many times she got
Ask
hit?
Rod. Ask Patrol. Ask OD.
How many times she got
Ask
hit?
Rod. Ask Patrol.
She was only 14 when she caught her first body with a top player in her ops set. The heart of Chirac was within her, embodying the disrespect for dead ops. The story went that after popping OD, Jakira took his gun and posted a clip with the same gun on social media. If it's one thing we've learned from Beef and Chirac, is that they take the names of their fallen homies very seriously. Jakira, however, took after her FBG friend, FBG Duck, who was a master of disrespect. For a female, Jakira was a savage shooter. She was a thoroughbred, showing her savagery in tweets dissing OD after she blew his top off. Jakira would soon come to realize the street rules go both ways, and just as someone close to the ops lost their life, she felt heartbreak that sat her down a darker path with the death of her close cousin, Tyquan Tyler. The sad thing is, Tyquan was shot while visiting friends and family. His mother moved him away to escape the violence, and he lost his life when dudes started sending shots into a group of youngins. Tyquan was really close to Jakira, and this turned her heart even colder. She was so young, yet experiencing things that would send a grown man insane. But Jakira was built different. She was out for blood, and revenge became her motivation in life. She turned into a monster, changing her online presence to memorialize Tuka and Tyquan, going by the name Tyquan Assassin, and that's exactly what she embodied.
I'm Sandra. Say. I'm Tyquan's mother. And I'm coming on here just to say it's been so many lies, so many stories about Tyquan. He was this, he was that, he was a killer, he was a gangbanger. And Tyquan wasn't none of that. He wasn't no killer, he wasn't no gangbanger, he had never caught no cases, he hadn't been to jail, or none of that. Tyquan was a sweet kid, he was a kid being a kid, you know, he wasn't no saint, he was a kid. You know, kids gonna be kids, you know, but all that other shit they talking about him being a killer and him doing this and that and that and this, that's a whole motherfucking lie. And they should never put no shit like that out there about a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? And especially a fucking kid you don't even fucking know. You know, a lot of these people is talking, I don't know if they talking to get clout, likes, money, juice, rank, I don't know. But they need to quit that shit. You know, that's a fucking lie. All that shit is a fucking lie. He wasn't no gangbanger, he wasn't no motherfucking killer, he wasn't none of that. He had never been to motherfucking jail or none of that. All that shit is some fucking bullshit. You know, so I just want to put that out there.
The streets say she is tied to at least 20 murders, and she is good at what she does. Even with her body count rising, law enforcement couldn't get their hands on her. She was a real-life assassin, not just a name for social media. Gaining notoriety in the streets, she was putting on for her set and was blatant with her taunts and thirst for violence. No one was too high or too far from her rage. When the cops took the life of her friend, Lil B, Jakira even sent blatant threats to the cops, promising vengeance on their life for her loss.
A deadly shootout in the middle of a Chicago street in the middle of the morning. A suspect allegedly pulls a gun on police who fired fatal shots. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Williams. My Martinez is off. It happened in the Woodlawn neighborhood. Police say they were chasing a suspected drug dealer. Let's go right to CBS 2's Suzanne Lemonnier live from the police department's area central headquarters with more on this developing story. Suzanne?
Jim, detectives here and the Independent Police Review Authority are now investigating this shooting. A massive police presence between Eberhard and Rhodes on 63rd. Patrol cars, blue lights flashing after a police-involved shooting.
He got shot 7 times on Rhodes, right there by the police.
Friends say 19-year-old Rasan Shah had just left them to get something to eat.
He was running through the alley with no gun or nothing, because he just left us. So we know he ain't had no gun. The police shot him unjustified. Too many times in his back. He ain't do nothing, man.
Chicago Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 7 spokesperson Pat Camden says Shah was caught by police in the middle of a drug deal. They went after him. Camden says Shah pointed a gun at police.
The officer defends himself, shoots the offender. We did recover a .40 caliber Glock with an extended clip.
Chaos erupts after the shooting. An angry mob gathers.
The rumor starts to spread that he didn't have a gun, the police shot him for no reason. Nothing could be further from the truth. If you're carrying a gun and you're stopped by the police, put your hands up in the air, and I guarantee you, you won't get shot. Point a gun at a policeman, and I guarantee you, you will get shot.
And that's what happened in this case.
Absolutely.
And police say that semi-automatic handgun recovered also had a laser sight on it. Live at Area Central, Suzanne Lemonnier, CBS 2 News. Jim?
Suzanne, thank you.
It was almost like she had no care for life, not even her own. She was the streets just as much as the streets was her, ready to give everything for the life and her gang. And that's exactly how she lived. She gained the nickname K.I. and Lil Snoop from the assassin on the TV series The Wire. A woman being accepted in the streets like she was almost unheard of, but she became a hitter for anybody needing a body dropped. Where violence was, she was present. Embraced by the hood, she made cameos and even was shouted out for being a killer in music videos like FBG, Young and Dutchie's murder. A target was sure to be on her back for the carnage she left in her wake, but the ops never could catch her lacking. She was meticulous in her movements. She was a seasoned killer. Jakira was becoming more and more of a boogeyman to the ops, dropping even more bodies as she set out on the path of destruction. Keep in mind, she was still only a teenager. She is said to be one of the other persons with Lil B that killed GBE affiliate and respected hitman J Money, shooting him multiple times in the face after he was set up by a female. Twitter was her place where she laid her trophies like a medal of honor with disrespect. She had no remorse or fear and let it be known that J Money was her next victim. It was after this that Lil B was killed by the police. With everyone close to her losing their lives, KI seemed to rush deeper into the darkness that was consuming her. She was a monster, but she was also a young girl witnessing deaths of people she loved. She wasn't even an adult, but she was carrying a heavy weight of death and bloodshed, and it began to take a toll on a Tyquan assassin. How she kept it inside and dealt with it, I don't know. But I guess she really was a different breed of savage to live the life she did so recklessly. She was running through ops like they were nothing. But the last straw in her long line of murder that brought the end to her life was the shooting of another GBE affiliate and Chief Keef's cousin, Blood Money, aka Big Glow. While she was getting props online, retaliation was on the way, and it came swift, but it was like she knew her time was coming based on tweets she was posting days before her death. Not too long after Blood Money's death, Jakira would be hit 9 times in the mouth, neck, and chest while wandering close to her ops neighborhood, collapsing on the neighbor's doorstep. She tried to hang on, but succumbed to her injuries.
For Chantel Brown, the statistics are more than just numbers. Within 12 short hours across Chicago, 14 people were wounded, 2 people killed, one of them being Brown's oldest child.
I'm just gonna miss her presence. She was a very, very beautiful, well-known, lovely girl.
17-year-old Gakirah Barnes loved basketball, her friends, and being with family.
I love her, and I'm gonna fight for her to have justice, because I don't think it's fair that we're losing our kids being gunned down every day in the streets.
It's still under investigation what exactly happened Friday afternoon in the 6400 block of South Eberhard, but neighbors say Barnes and a friend were walking along the sidewalk when a gunman started firing.
When the bullet hit her, it was so powerful she fell on the steps.
Residents who do not want to be identified say Barnes fought to live, but had been shot at least 9 times.
In the jaw, in the neck, and in the chest, and in the leg. 9 times, they said.
Barnes was transported to Northwestern where she died, and tragically for this neighborhood, it wasn't the first child lost to gunfire.
I wanted to cry because I had 2 children that had been murdered. So I know how that mother feels.
Jakirah's mother and several other organizations have collectively put together a $10,000 reward for the person who brings forward the information that leads to an arrest and a conviction. This case is ongoing. No one is in custody as of yet. From Woodlawn, I'm Emily Flores, NBC 5 News.
She was a true fighter, able to run with those life-threatening shots. The killer was rumored to be Big A, King Von, and another Oblock member. King Von may seem far-fetched, but they actually had a complicated relationship, sort of a love-hate vibe. There was something different between them, and many couldn't tell if Von was trying to hit or simply playing games before taking her life. The latter came out to be the truth.
Police hit that. We put our blicks up. After the police searched us, let us go in 1st grade. Like, probably 5 minutes into the police letting us go, the motherfucker hit the corner, get the blue on them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
When they start shooting, you guys take off running, and you get shot in the leg. I take it.
Yeah, I get hit in my knee. I got an artificial kneecap right now from that shit, but after that, in 1st grade, motherfucker know what happened after K.I. died on 2nd grade.
After you're shot, do you know that she's shot too, or are you just trying to get to the hospital, or what's going on?
When I had got shot, I only got shot because I pushed the hype out the way first on 1st grade. I tried to use the hype as a shield on 1st grade. and got my shit on 1st grade. And, bro, I get through the game when I see Kyrie hit shit like I'm hit 20. Whoa. She sitting on the porch, she like I'm hit 20. Now I'm like I'm hit too. I pull my pants down. I see why I'm hit that shit.
So you go to the hospital, I take it? What happens when you go to the hospital?
Shit, I left the hospital, bro. After I woke up after surgery and shit, I ended up sneaking out the hospital and shit. That was like, cause homicide came in, was like, you know your little sister dead. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, your sister died. I'm like, they're like, you ain't gonna tell us who did it. I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't let it be.
Was that when you found out that she died?
Yeah, when homicide came in, it was like, yeah, you shot your sister dead.
Big A was the main name thrown around as the killer, and he paid a hefty price for it. 2 years later, in Retaliation, by Gakirah Barnes' blood brother G.I. Joe, Big A was shot and killed. She was a true Chirac legend that forever would go down as one of the most savage repping GD. Sad that she couldn't enjoy life, and she didn't have a chance to become the social worker that she dreamed of becoming. From the little girl to gangbanger, hitman and assassin, once close with the very opps that she went on to bang against, as seen in this picture with McAdoo 600. But the set that you rep and the location you bang determines your enemies and your foes. STL was her alliance, and she had rode hard for EBT and FBG and 63rd till her dying breath. Her life was filled with pain and bloodshed, but she stood tall, proved her credentials as a gangster, and stood on her word. She goes down as the deadliest to rep STL EBT in the Chirac streets. RIP Tyquan Assassin. Alright gang, and there you have it. You already know what it is. Get in the comment section. You know, like, subscribe, share, all that. Don't even go nowhere, man. Just go ahead, kick back and watch that next video. Gang!